Hey everyone, this is Paul Gale from paulgalenetwork.com, and thank you for joining me today for video game news. It is June 17th, 2021, and these are the top stories of the day. To kick things off, the Xbox Design Lab is back. Microsoft had this really cool game controller development site going on last generation with the Xbox One, and it's back again with the Xbox Series X and S. For $70, you get to customize your own controller, have the colors exactly the way you want them. A, B, X, Y, analog sticks, bumpers, L and R buttons, the front and the back of the controller. As you can see here, there's an example. For an extra $10, you could have digital engraving, or laser cut, I should say. And here's just a few more examples. Pretty cool stuff. That's about it. Then it just goes into Flight Simulator and so forth. But if you're looking for a new custom controller, the Xbox Design Lab is back, so you might want to check them out. Pretty cool stuff. Next up, Metroid Dread, available now for pre-order on Best Buy, Amazon, GameStop, Target, Walmart, but everywhere it is sold out when it comes to the special edition and the 2-pack amiibo set. I'm keeping on the hunt for them because as soon as a site such as one of these outlets has them available in stock again, I want to deliver that news to you. So if you're interested in the special edition or the amiibo, you'll know it. Maybe you're already successful and you've got them, which if you do, congratulations, awesome. I have not been able to secure them yet for myself, but I wanted to let you know that all hope is not lost. If you're out there seeking them, you will find out that information when they're available again from PGN, and good luck to all of us. Moving on, it's kind of going to be a short video game news day, just to let you know. E3 was last week, and obviously that took up a lot of energy and power on the internet. We had a lot of fantastic news reports out of it, so this is kind of like that calm afterwards. We do have some upcoming events to look forward to, but today's news, a little bit on the short side. Matt Piscatella, though, over at the US NPD group, updated us with the May 2021 US Top 20 Video Games chart. This is for all platforms, not counting, Nintendo eShop digital titles, digital libraries from PlayStation, Xbox, Steam, and stuff like that. But if you look at the chart, we've got Resident Evil Village coming in at number 1. That's across all platforms. Mass Effect Legendary Edition at number 2. MLB The Show 21 at number 3. Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War at number 4. And then going 5 through 10, we've got New Pokemon Snap, Mortal Kombat 11, Mario Kart 8, Returnal, Animal Crossing New Horizons, and Minecraft. Going from 11 through 21 is Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales, Super Mario 3D World, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, It Takes Two, Biomutant, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Monster Hunter Rise, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Pokemon Sword and Shield, Days Gone. So that's a pretty healthy variety of games across different genres, different consoles, console exclusives like Spider-Man on PlayStation 4, 5, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild on Nintendo Switch. With the latter, you're looking at a game that's over 4 years old, still charting, very impressive. You have some new software like Resident Evil Village, so it's overall a pretty cool chart for this past May. Also worth noting, this is a different report, also coming from Matt, but not seen here. Nintendo Switch was once again the number 1 best-selling console of the month. So with the month of May, it has now been consecutively number 1 best-selling system for the last 30 months, which is amazing. A brand new record. It obviously already matched and beat the Xbox 360 record from back in the day, which capped out at 23 months. So as soon as Nintendo Switch hit 24 months, it's only been adding to its legacy and making it difficult for any console to ever beat it, honestly. Not that it's impossible, but it took quite a while for a system to beat the Xbox 360 at 23 months. It's going to take a while for anyone, if anyone does beat Nintendo Switch, and it's 30 months. Will someone beat Nintendo Switch next month, June? Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. Matt also provided the 2021 year to date for the US top 10 video games across all platforms, and they go as follows: Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, Resident Evil Village, MLB The Show 21, Super Mario 3D World, Monster Hunter Rise, Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales, Outriders, Mario Kart 8, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Minecraft. That's a pretty cool top 10 list because it has some old games on it that, like I said, at this point are 4 years old. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, for instance, still on there. That does not include eShop titles, which is wild. And you've got some new games like Monster Hunter Rise, Resident Evil Village, particularly with Resident Evil Village only being out in the month of May and already the second best-selling game of the whole year. Very impressive, so props to Capcom. If you go on further, you could see the top 12 last full 12-month period. You could see Nintendo's individual sales, Xbox, PlayStation, but we don't have to go into that necessarily. If you want to go into it more, I would recommend following Matt at Matt Piscatella on Twitter, because he has this kind of information all the time. He works for the NPD group and is really cool. So I appreciate that. Thank you, Matt. Finally, it is Thursday, so you know what that means. Our Famitsu sales charts. Thank you, Chris1964 from the ResetEra.com forums for putting this together, as always. This is the Famitsu sales chart for week 24, 2021, which occupies the June 7th through June 13th time frame. And number one was a new release, Game Builder Garage for Nintendo Switch, which debuted at 71,241. Number two was the PlayStation 5 Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade, which is really cool because it had 20,889 units. Not much. I mean, even the number one game isn't like groundbreaking, but then boom, the drop to number two is quite substantial. But cool to see a PS5 game at number two, because technically people could have just upgraded from Final Fantasy VII on PS4 to the Intergrade on PS5 without having to buy a PS5 disc, So the fact that people bought the PS5 disc, I guess they wanted that special looking PS5 box art and so forth. I just upgraded, digitally to it. But regardless, if you haven't played 7 Remake or Intergrade for that matter on your PS5, I recommend checking out. One of the best games of 2020. At number 3, awesome seeing Ratchet & Clank, another PS5 game. This is kind of a first, right? We're getting 2 PS5 games in this top. Now, it only sold 14,663, which obviously it's going to do so much better in the West, North America, and Europe. I imagine this game is going to be a multi-million seller. Japan, it's never going to hit 1 million, but really good game. I got my copy 2 days early on Tuesday or Wednesday last week before E3. And, I've been loving it. It's really good. Really, really solid. If you have a PS5, totally worth it. The controller, I recommend having rumble set to max, analog sticks, or I should say shoulder buttons set to max vibration, feel all of the different shots, feel all of the collision. Graphics are tight. I switched between the visual fidelity mode, dropping it down and having 60 frames per second, and then having 60 frames per second with ray tracing but a lower resolution. And all 3 modes are great. You're not going to play the game in a bad way. It's never going to be a thing of, the graphics are great in this one, but the frame rate sucks. Or the frame rate's good in this one, but the graphics suck. No, there is no sucks with this game. It's legit. It's awesome. Insomniac Games, you did a terrific job. So there is no wrong choice. It's just, what do you want? Do you want it to be a little more smooth or to look a little better? I'm playing most of it in fidelity mode. The 30 frames per second is not bothering me at all because it's a consistent 30. It's not dropping. And I am technically maxing out my TV a little bit more because I have a 4K 2.1 USB connecting HDR OLED 65-inch LG TV, and I want to experience this at 120 hertz and perfect visuals and still enjoying that frame rate as a solid 30. So that's my recommended. That's at least for me. But I wish the game would sell better in Japan, but props on becoming number 3. Then again, it's not that big of a week, so I guess it worked out well. Maybe more eyes will see it and say, oh wow, number 3, that's good. But in reality, I wouldn't be surprised if it drops pretty significantly next week, unfortunately. Moving on though, anyways. Number 4, Miitopia with 14,579. Number 5, Ring Fit Adventure with 13,507. And number 6 is the PlayStation 4 version of Ninja Gaiden Master Collection with 12,210. Number 7, Monster Hunter Rise, 11,951 copies sold. Number 8, PlayStation 4 Guilty Gear Strive with 11,722. Number 9, the Nintendo Switch version of Minecraft with 11,661 copies sold. And tongue-tied. And at number 10, Momotaro Dentetsu with 9,802 copies sold. The split goes 6 Nintendo Switch, 4 PlayStation 4, 6 Nintendo Switch, 2 PlayStation 4, 2 PlayStation 5. I meant to say 6 Nintendo, 4 PlayStation, but pretty cool. And finally, hardware. Nintendo Switch was the king of the sales charts once again with 78,317 copies sold, down from last week, but up 23,000 from last year at this same time, which now brings it to 2.4 million last year compared to 2.8 million this year. This year is almost 400,000 ahead. Very impressive. It's going to take a little bit more, hopefully within the next coming weeks, to definitely solidify it as a nice 500,000 lead. That's going to look really good, especially as we move into quarter 3, which is crazy because we're going to go in just 2 more weeks into the second half of the year. 2021 is flying by fast. PlayStation 5 came in at number 2, little bump over last week with 19,419. Xbox Series, quite a big jump, 2,694. Looks like Microsoft really shipped out a lot more consoles that week, so that's cool. PlayStation 4 at 1,185, a drop less than half or more than half of a drop as it sold less than half of what it did last week. And the Nintendo 3DS at 395 units sold, which just up a little bit over last week. Fairly calm week in hardware, but 78,000 on the Nintendo Switch side is definitely respectable without some major hit, except for Game Builder Garage being, the new title on Nintendo Switch for the week. Without a major hit, almost 80,000 for one random week pre-summer is pretty awesome, really. You can see it's significantly higher than last year, so that's something to note. But yeah, like I said, shorter news day today. That's about it. Hope you all had a good one. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Take it easy.